Hello, I'm your real sister girl reporting from the Simply Raw newsroom right here in the Black Wall Street district. We have our reporter Jadzia with us today via Skype, who was on lockdown and quarantined after traveling to Atlanta during a recent Black Lives Matter protest. She has an interesting story that's been reported within the past couple of weeks regarding Mr. Kanye West. Hello, Jadzia. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me. I'm grateful to be here. Good day, beautiful Simply Raw viewers. I'm Jadzia Nfume, reporting in this 2020 year of August. It has been reported that close associate of Donald Trump, Kanye West, has put in a bid for the presidency. Knowing that West has a close association with Trump, America's worst failure, raises suspicion that this move may have been planned and manipulated by both West and Trump in an attempt to intercept votes of Black Americans from Joe Biden in an effort to assist Trump in regaining the country's highest office. This move may possibly fail, as most Black Americans are not impressed with West, considering his display on more than one occasion that his mental state of mind has continued to fail following his mother's death. Black Americans are not blind and have been underestimated in their intelligence. No one in their right mind would ever consider West as a stable figure to take on America's most powerful office. West, just as Trump, lacks political experience, and of course, it wouldn't be wise to repeat the same mistakes made when putting Trump in office. Truly, America has been brought down from its highest pedestal after Trump and Vladimir Putin's poisoning of our voting system. Any sane American, after witnessing Trump turning America's political system into a three-ring circus, would truly need a serious mental examination if they were considering voting for West, and for that matter, that would include voting for Trump. Is it possible for Trump and West to think they could fool young Black Americans into voting for someone who is clearly incapable and bereft of even a modicum of mental stability? West was in tears when he broadcast that his wife and mother-in-law were trying to have him committed. Wow, really? And he wants our vote? Is he serious? I'll vote for him if he can get Malcolm X as his running mate. I mean that. In the Word, it says we are to pray for our leaders. Would it be wrong to pray for a leader's removal from office? After all, it is still praying for, and not against, when asking for his removal to a place that is more suitable to protect the integrity of our country. Wouldn't you say? Thank you for listening, and now back to our studio.
Thank you so much for spending time with us, and we appreciate you and hope to see you back in the studio.
I'm looking forward to returning very soon.
Yes, and we can't wait till you return. Now, a word from our sponsor.
Hello, I'm Mandolin, Senior Executive Producer of Simply Raw News. I'm here to offer creators, designers, and merchants a place to advertise with us during our news stream. Inbox me in-world for details, and our advertising crew will proudly design the most professional ad you will be proud to show your customers and clients. Do it today.
I'm Udiah. As if we did not have enough atrocities to endure as we shout Black Lives Matter. But now we need to acknowledge that Black Lives Matter on a global scale as well. On August 16th, 2020, the Greeks dumped and left 1,000 African immigrants at sea with only their life jackets. We don't hear a word about these inhumane acts from the media. On the other hand, I have to thank the NWA and NBA who recently unified to announce all injustices toward the murder of Black men and women by police in this nation. It's going to require some stiff legislation to send a message to those that disregard our suffering and perpetuate injustices on people of color. As you know, white officers police themselves in white communities. Whites also police blacks in our black communities. You will never see predominantly black officers police these white communities. If blacks and whites are going to coexist in this nation, then the scales got to be balanced. If not, then this is not the so-called United States of America. Clearly, when politicians remark, God bless the, quote, United States, this is not accurate because we are not yet united. Blacks exist as a separate, unrepresented, and ignored people in this nation. White folk refer to us as separate when they define us as saying those black communities, the black vote, the black jobs, the black children. Get it? When a black man commits a crime, they announce his race in the news. When whites commit crimes, they only announce his name. We not blind. We see this standard. White folk remain silent all these years. Now it's going to take the white folk to shout this from the hilltops and take the blame to effect change. We cannot continue to hold them blameless until whites who perpetuate these acts change the sick minds of their own people and correct themselves and each other. Nothing will change. Blacks will continue to be murdered in live time. Black America, you cannot fix the distinction that white America created. White privilege created the distinction, as white privilege must repair it themselves. When blacks continue to do what we always did, we will always get what we already got, which is nothing. Whites have historically oppressed and colonized nations on this planet and snatched their resources and dehumanized, raped, and slaughtered the indigenous people in their own lands and in this country as well. Globally, people of color are treated worse than dogs. Whites care more about animal rights than they do people of color. Blacks need to develop black pride and privilege within their own race, same as whites have done within their race. Remaining silent and allowing injustice to blow over and be erased is not going to help us. Whites would be horrified if we made signs to read, God bless the united Black America, in addition to Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter globally. Let's get it right.
Are you prepared for the sounds of DJ Kenny Rock?
When you cross that bridge, welcome to Brooklyn. Put your lighters up. No matter where you're from, put your lighters up.
We would like to introduce to you our guest speaker who has a message he would like to share with the Black community. Minister Ruach Ben Israel, a Black sheriff and Hebrew minister. Thank you, Minister Ruach, for taking time out of your schedule to speak to our audience.
This government we're dealing with, and Smith Barney and the Bilderberg Group, has a plan for us, and we're not included. Asking them, marching, begging, and voting, not going to do it. Never has and never will. Keep Hope Alive has ruined our people. We have turned the other cheek, been washed down the street with water hoses, attacked by dogs, hit upside the head with billy clubs, women and children, and sprayed with mace. Can a sheep survive in a wolf's den even though some wolves not as hungry as others? I guess you want one wolf to protect you from another wolf, when even in the word it says, come from amongst them.
Thank you, sir. And we appreciate you participating in On Blast, Simply Raw News.
Thank you for tuning into our program. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Your support and comments are always appreciated. Find us at www.facebook.com/groups/Simply Raw to NV. I'm your anchor, Mandolin, reporting for Simply Raw News. Good night.